What is up, everyone? It is March. We made it. We're here to break down the bracket. We've got as many people I've ever seen on a show outside of like a pre-major golf show at night. We got a 5-man booth. We got the bracket up. There's a bunch of us here. We got our guys that are usually on Saturdays, Kurt and Gav. Kurt, I'll go to you first. What's happening, man?
What's up? Excited to be on with the boys. Just cast that Boston College bet. Feels very good to get that going.
Eagles!
Yeah, BC. Happy to be on it with everybody we got in the company. And then my boy, I'm excited to hear about Vegas, probably after camera. But yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah, Gav, we'll bring you in. Have you recovered from the Vegas trip yet?
Yeah, but I also I needed a couple beers because you beat me by 1 day, staying an extra day for St. Patty's Day, you sick fuck. But here we are. We survived. We'll get this done.
Yeah, ended up staying one extra night that, was good and bad, but we had a blast out there. Let's bring in JBC. What's going on?
Fuck you.
Tony, what's up with you?
I agree with JBC.
Multiple shows a day will do that to you guys. So we're not going to go just game by game through the whole bracket because we don't want to be on here till midnight. So we'll just kind of go region by region, get the guys' thoughts on any matchups that they like more than most, any upsets, key players to watch, stuff like that. We're going to start in the East here. UConn, the number 1 overall seed. They obviously won last year as the 4 seed. They come in 31-3, didn't lose at home the entire year. Awesome team there. Gav, I want to get your thoughts first on this region. I think that this region has the strongest 4. I think Auburn's the strongest 4 of the group. And then we also just saw Illinois just destroy in the Big Ten tournament led by Terry Shannon, who just kind of went God mode over a couple days.
It's for the top 10 Ken Palm teams. So in that sense, it's probably the toughest bracket for a 1 seed to advance. So that's weird that UConn gets it. Seeding and the rant that we can go on is a whole nother thing. But yeah, it should be pretty interesting. Probably, two of those 4, I'd say, end up towards the end of it. But still can see some upsets, I think, early.
Yeah, they did UConn no favors with this bracket. Kurt, any initial thoughts on it here? I kind of agree with Gav. I don't see anyone outside the top 4 making a deep run. What do you think overall?
Yeah, so I think the winner's definitely going to come from here. I think it's going to be the winner of the UConn-Auburn game is going to win the national title. I feel like it's not a hot take, but to put it simple, stupid, that's what I think is going to happen here. And I agree with you. I think Iowa State, not even before I saw Tony's chart, just because they have just a tough run. Illinois is a tough run too. Give me the winner of the Auburn, UConn win the title here. And no, I guess we'll get into it later, but I kind of want to see I don't know what to do with the BYU Duquesne game. So hopefully we'll get
I do.
Oh, baby, tell me. Talk to me.
Yeah. JBC, we'll go to you then. If you want to start the East with Duquesne, go for it.
All right. Yeah. I mean, you guys kind of covered it a little bit, other than the fact that Iowa State actually sucks. So I got no faith in Iowa State. I think they lose that second game to Drake. So it'll be Drake and Illinois in the Sweet 16. But yeah, Duquesne, I think, is a fucking wagon, as we spoke about before. BYU, high variance team, shoots a ton of threes. I think Duquesne very live on the money line to win that game. Obviously Illinois will be a little bit of a tougher matchup in the next game. But, going back to the top of the bracket, Kurt said it. UConn and Auburn are both fucking really, really good. I can't believe that they did this. It's really fucked up. It's probably because Bruce Pearl's been talking shit about everybody. But, I can't imagine why they did this other than just to fuck him over. But, yeah, that's my take.
Yeah, tough draw for Auburn. I think, like I said, out of all the 4 seeds, I probably would have taken Auburn to upset a 1 if it wasn't UConn here. Gav, as far as the non-top 4 seeds, these matchups, do you like any upsets in the first round? I like Duquesne plus the 9.5 or so. But I'm kind of struggling to see any other outright upsets here. What do you think?
I'm with you guys on Duquesne. I mean, I bet him to win the conference early on preseason. Then Day Grant gets hurt in the beginning of the conference stretch. They go 0-6, can't really recover, get vindicated, by their run. Having guys like Day Grant and Jimmy Clark in the backcourt that can just go get a shot, on any possession and they're certainly going to have, an athleticism advantage over the BYU backcourt. So, yeah, not a bad spot. You got the Keith Dambrot narrative in his last year, taking the team that his dad was the last guy to take them to the tourney, 30 years ago or something. So I'm in on Duquesne. I also took UAB. I think this is a really good spot. San Diego State, 35th percentile zone offense efficiency. You got a guy in Yaxel Lendenberg who can go toe for toe with Jaden Ledee, both from a physicality and skill standpoint that there doesn't really exist much of in the Mountain West. And then kind of also on board with Drake. That Drake Iowa State, if it does happen, is going to be interesting, given kind of the geographical proximity and how that game travels and what the fan base will be like. So, yeah, I'm all in for that. I can get on board with Drake in the Sweet 16.
Yeah, I kind of tend to think whoever wins that game has a good shot against Iowa State. It does suck for Wazoo that they have to go play Drake in Omaha as the 7th seed. Tony, you've been drinking in this quadrant here. Do you have any takes off the bat?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing that catches my eye, obviously I haven't followed it as close as you guys this year, but all these three Final Four teams from last year? Is that right?
Yep.
Florida, did Florida Atlantic just suck this year for some reason?
The back half of the year, yeah.
3 Q3 losses.
It seems like they did no favors to UConn, but UConn, just like last year, looks like a wagon. I mean, Auburn, I agree. Going into my auction last night, I wanted to get Auburn, and then I looked closer, and it's like, man, they got a tough path to get there. Even though I like Auburn, it just seems like a tough path. Duquesne, I'm pretty high on Illinois, too, just looking at the bracket. I think, the key is we all hate Iowa State. I mean, none of us like them, right? And then I saw the shot chart today. The shot chart was embarrassing. I kind of think Drake is a little bit of a sleeper, or Washington State. A lot of times people look at Drake and then maybe Washington State sneaks by them and sneaks by Iowa State too. So I kind of think Illinois is the team for me on the bottom. Illinois versus UConn, and I don't know how far we're going out, but I like Illinois on the bottom.
Yeah, same here. I've got UConn, Illinois in the regional final here. Kurt, is that what you have? And then do you have any upsets in this region?
Yes, I feel like it's pretty – I think everyone agrees here. I have UAB over San Diego State in almost all of mine. Is there any rebuttal to that?
I think it's fine. Yeah, I've liked some like you said, UAB is going to zone them, and San Diego State hasn't done well against zones all season. So,
how many guys did San Diego State have back from that Final Four team?
Pretty much the entire team.
So both those teams go to the Final Four and come back and just suck?
They're also, I mean, Matt Bradley was huge for them. That was their late game shot maker, their go-to guy. They don't have him. The guards haven't picked up the slack. Jaden Ledee has emerged as one of the best players, but that's sometimes not enough against other teams that put pressure on him and double in the post. So, yeah, they've been vulnerable in spots. It's also a mega home court advantage for them. So their away from home metric is not good on Haslam outside the top 300. There's spots where they're beatable.
Yeah, I do like that call, though. Like, if somehow Auburn can beat UConn, I might just bet them moving forward.
Let me put some context to that. So we're talking about Auburn a lot, okay? Have we seen a 4 seed come in as the number 4 rated Ken Pom team recently?
UConn last year? Where were they going?
UConn last year.
So now, what do you think the Ken Pom spread of that game would be?
Auburn, UConn, in what? The East is in neutral. MSG.
They're getting 4?
It's 2.5 if you go by the formula to do the projected scores. So that's how close of a game we're talking about. They probably get bumped up to 3.5. I'd say, just with the proximity of where they're playing. But Auburn, almost 5-1 in spots to win the region when they're going to be a 1 possession dog. I don't think that's a terrible way to look if you're an Auburn fan.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all. JBC, with these first round games, have you looked at spreads, totals? Is there anything that jumps out with just any of the first round matchups?
My best bets in this bracket, Drake is either my second or third largest bet of the first round, laying a point against Washington State. I think they win that game pretty easily. Other than that, I've got Moorhead getting 12 against Illinois, Duquesne getting 9.5 against BYU, and then That's it. Those three.
Yeah, mine are the Duquesne bet. I took Auburn laying the points. Gab and I have talked about it with Kurt a lot on these Saturday shows. Auburn has not been afraid to run away and hide against bad teams, and Yale's just not the caliber of Auburn here. So I don't mind laying the double digits there. Gav, bets for you in the first round in this region? I know you have a lot, so.
I'm trying to think of ones that weren't said and are still available. I think I have anything else that I could add.
I know you took UAB plus the points and lean the over there, even though it's moved a lot, right?
They just went back up to 7.
Yeah, I took the 7.5. So I think I'd be all right with 7 still. Yeah, Caesars opened this game 132.5 when the Ken Palm line was 149. It was just a joke. So that thing's history. I think it's much more fair now. We're kind of where it's at.
Yeah, it's 140-ish now, I think. Kurt, any leans on bets here before we go to the next region?
Not for this region. I'm telling you guys on here.
All right, so I think maybe all 5 of us have UConn, Illinois as the regional final.
Yes.
Nice. All right, Tony, can you scroll down here with our screen share? And let's look at the next region, the West. Carolina gets the 1 in the West over Arizona. Thought that was kind of interesting after they lose to NC State there in the ACC tournament. This is, I think, a really good draw for Carolina. Just looking at these, especially the 3 and 4 seeds, I think, are the weakest 3 and 4s that we have in the tournament.
And 6.
And 6, yeah. So I think it's a good draw for Carolina. Initial thoughts here, Kurt, on this region?
New Mexico being favored over Clemson. As soon as the bracket came out, I was like, what the fuck? What are we doing here? New Mexico is going to beat Baylor probably too. They had the upside to beat Baylor. And then gives Arizona, whoever comes out of there, that fits. So, love New Mexico. If you're in any of those brackets that pay more points for the higher seed, just blindly click New Mexico. And even if you're not, still
Johnny's got one of those for $500 if y'all want to play.
I want 5 entries into it. Book me into it. But that was my initial look for this. Wow, easy, but love the New Mexico over Clemson as should be popular.
Yeah. Gav, we'll go to you. We rode New Mexico all weekend in Vegas. They were good to us, and now they sit here as a favorite as an 11th seed. Besides that, any major takeaways in this region?
Yeah, you got plenty of offense. Between UNC, Bama, even Dayton is, I think, right around top 25 in offensive efficiency. So you're going to see some games. That Bama-Charleston game is going to be a wild shootout. There's going to be plenty of variance baked in because teams are going to shoot a ton of threes. We saw how vulnerable Zona was in the Pac-12 tourney. Just if you slow them down and throw any kind of zone at them and they're not doing their 40% plus type 3-point shooting, man, they can lose to some not great teams. There are 20 teams in the field seeded better than New Mexico that are ranked below them on Ken Palm, to give you an idea of how bad that seed is. That was just crazy when I looked at that.
They wouldn't have made it if they hadn't won.
That's the other thing. They didn't have a prayer to make it if they didn't win. Is what that says. So
finally healthy though.
Finally healthy. They just ran the table in the Mountain West tournament with their second best player very, very ill. Donovan Dent was not 100% during that. Yeah, they still did it. So, just their style of play, it can be a little high variance game to game. If they're cutting down mistakes, they're going to win a lot more than they're going to lose. So, yeah, I'm good with New Mexico. I thought even I'm sure that's been bought down to a 250. I don't even think that's a terrible price to go. Do they have the 3 better guards than Baylor? I might be able to argue it. You can throw Jacoby Walter in there, who's probably going to be a better future prospect than any of the New Mexico guys. But Langston Love, Jamal Mashford, it's pretty close. And I don't think that they're worse than Baylor in the front court. JT Toppin and Nelly Jr. Joseph are just as fine as Jalen Bridges and Yves Misi. So, yeah, I think New Mexico's an awesome team here.
Yeah, there's a lot of spots in the bracket where I didn't know where to go. The first thing I did was put New Mexico in the Sweet 16, though, here. Yes. JBC, we'll go to you. anything that stands out here in this bracket besides the New Mexico spot?
This is one of my favorite sections of the bracket. I like Nevada over Dayton big time. I've been high on Nevada over all year. I've probably had them 13, 14 out of the last 15 games. And for them to only be a 1-point favorite in that game, really love Nevada. I think Nevada's live against Arizona as well. You spoke on New Mexico. Baylor fucking sucks. And New Mexico is probably going to beat them. Clemson could probably fucking beat them. Moving upward, Alabama. It's super high variance team, which you fucking hate when it's a higher seeded team. That's going to be, as he said, or as Gav said, it's going to be a wild shootout with Charleston. I think Charleston could easily shoot their way into the second round here, where this is one of my big takes that you were getting on me about it. I think Grand Canyon is a better team than St. Mary's. I don't, St. Mary's did better in the back half of the year than they did at the beginning of the season, but I still think that Grand Canyon they've looked so fucking good all year. And I really like them to make the second round. And if you end up with them against Alabama or Charleston, they could win that game too. But from a betting standpoint, other than Nevada and Grand Canyon, my big take in this round is Michigan State laying 1 over Mississippi State. I like the Spartans to win that game.
Oh no, I know I'm on the other side there. Mississippi State.
I do want to touch on one more thing.
Yeah.
Before the tournament started, yesterday, FanDuel was dealing 20-1 on Carolina to win the title, even after they got dealt this fucking cake-ass bracket. So I took North Carolina at 20-1.
Yeah, I mean, they do have a pretty easy run here. That St. Mary's Grand Canyon winner, I think, can beat Bama. St. Mary's is like the type of team that Bama's struggled with all season. Gav, any takes there? I know Gav is our resident St. Mary's guy, so we have to.
Let's hear it.
We have to get his take on that game.
Yeah, I mean, well, St. Mary's and Grand Canyon's like choosing between, your two children for me. I just died when I saw this matchup.
I hated it too. I fucking hated it.
I was sick. I have been telling Steve about goddamn Grand Canyon all weekend in Vegas. Saying, no, none of them. Bro, they are fucking good. St. Mary's, like, especially without Jefferson, they're going to struggle with the size of Tyon Grant Foster on the wing. They already lost, maybe the best isolation pick and roll defender in the conference last year in Logan Johnson. Now no Jefferson. It is not a good matchup for St. Mary's. I think that the winner, the team going to the Sweet 16, I think is coming from that matchup, St. Mary's Grand Canyon. I think both match up well against, even if it's Bama. St. Mary's going to not, they're going to stay on shooters. They're going to play the math ball. It's going to be tough for Bama. They're going to win on the glass, be efficient, force Bama to execute in the half court. A great spot for him. And then Grand Canyon, going back to Tyon Grant Foster, like former Kansas 5-star, had the crazy tragic injury, collapsed on the court, I think it was, and now is back just murdering teams. He can put a lick on Bama as well. They don't have the wing size to defend him either. So I like the winner of that game to go to the Sweet 16. Personally, I just can't bet against Randy Bennett, so I have St. Mary's in there myself.
Yeah, Kurt, any thoughts on the top half of this bracket? You had talked about liking New Mexico. Do you think either Miss State or Sparty can give Carolina a run? And then thoughts on that Bama quadrant too?
So I don't think so. I think UNC handles either of them. I've had a terrible time picking these two teams. Like my heart and my brain even says Mississippi State, and then like the fact that it's Izzo and all that bullshit, I'm like, okay, well, they probably, I don't know. But I'm leaning Mississippi State. I'm riding my gut. I'm riding what I've watched all year, even though I know Michigan State's really high in Ken Palm and all the other ratings too. But I don't like them. Going Mississippi State. They got a bunch of athletes. I think they can give Michigan State some fits. And then I'm with you guys on Grand Canyon. I've had them over St. Mary. I mean, I like both. Like, it was tough to pick against St. Mary, especially because I know I'm going against Gonzaga too. So I feel bad for the whole conference. But yeah, first of all, Alabama Charleston going to be amazing. I wish that we had Alabama and Charleston and New Mexico all in the same quadrant. That'd be awesome. Potential matchup for any of those. But no, not many different takes here. And I don't think UNC has a problem to the Elite Eight, at least Final Four too.
Yeah. All right, Tony. Anything stand out for you? Any takes in this region here?
Yeah, I mean, I like your guys' takes. I just to go down the list. I mean, I can't go against Izzo in the first round with two crappy teams. So I'm more on the JBC. I think JBC liked Michigan State. I'm more on that side. I hate St. Mary's. That's one team I watched a few times. I don't like them. I do love Grand Canyon though.
That's disgusting.
I mean, I'm in on Grand Canyon, Bama, New Mexico. I love your guys' takes on New Mexico because that game I was a little torn on that game just because I feel like everyone's going to be on New Mexico. Maybe it's one of those weird spots where you can take Clemson and be contrarian almost just because of how popular. But you guys, so I can't go against all you guys loving New Mexico. So I'm going to be on them. Baylor, Nevada. I love Dayton's been terrible away from home from what I've seen. So I love the Nevada call. And I think Grand Canyon can beat Bama too. I just think the SEC kind of sucks. So watching Kentucky, Bama, these teams, they can score. But when it comes down to tournament time and at the end of games, can they get stops? I think Grand Canyon, I like that. I mean, that's why this show's good. I learned a lot just from listening to you guys. I think Grand Canyon, Sweet 16. I don't know who can beat Arizona on the bottom. I like Arizona. It's chalky, but I think it's Arizona and Carolina in here for me. I wish I could pick an upset. Maybe one of you can talk me into one of those going down, but that's where I'm at for now.
Kurt, do you also have Carolina, Arizona in the regional final here?
I think with this bracket, you can be chalky with your Elite Eight and then get Nevada over Dayton. I mean, you can have New Mexico go to the Sweet 16. You can have you can have Grand Canyon go to the Sweet 16. You can get weird and still have like North Carolina, Arizona, and still be like somewhat different. I love that path to this quadrant actually.
Also, that would be awesome because it would be Caleb Love against Carolina.
Yeah, exactly. I love when they do shit like that.
That would be sweet.
That'd be so awesome. Gav, any other take besides Carolina, Zona in the regional final?
Yeah, the winner of Nevada Dayton beats Zona. Tommy Lloyd, 0-4 ATS, his first 4 games in the tournament. I think Dayton actually presents a little bit worse matchup for Arizona. Like they're going to give the first component that you need to beat them in terms of slowing them down. And Dayton's been just a highly efficient offense. They shoot a ton of threes. They're the third best 3-point percentage in the country. The pick and roll game with Deron Holmes and the way that Deron Holmes can travel and shoot threes, I think could easily play Umar Ballo just off the floor for a good portion. I think Dayton presents a pretty good battle for him. I tend to be on the other side of JBC. I kind of like them. I think they're 750 to win or to make the Sweet 16. Sorry, they're by mechanical parlay numbers, they're plus 550. They're giving you 750, and kind of with that stylistic matchup, I'm going to be sprinkling a little bit on Dayton myself personally.
Yeah, I like that. Why don't you go through the rest of your first round bets here, Gav? We haven't talked about first round bets too much in this region yet before we close out for everyone.
Dude, I don't know where to start. I took a small piece of Mississippi State. I'm on the other side of that. I just like the positional length of Mississippi State. Do worry about their turnover percentage against a relatively ball-hawking Michigan State team. Izzo has been beatable in the first round. He obviously has the March success, but there's been plenty of spots where he's lost in the first round versus like a Dana Altman, who I think is 7-0 in first round games. Other than that, no other big takes. One thing, if you want kind of more info on Baylor, like there's 36 teams in the country with 8 quad 1 opportunities. 20 are in the tournament. Baylor is the 20th ranked on Bar Torvik when you filter that out. So I think speaks to lack of ceiling just with that team. Maybe might be safe to potentially make a Sweet 16, but don't think they have really much runway past that.
Colgate getting in that butt.
Colgate.
They could, man. They're gonna shoot. They're gonna shoot threes, and if they make them, it's not like Baylor just has some suffocating, 3-point defense. They're gonna run the Scott Drew 1-1-3 zone, and if Colgate can shoot them out of it, they're gonna give them problems.
Yeah. I think my 2 bets in this region for the first round are I took Beach plus the 21, and I got Mississippi State. JBC, I know you said that you had Sparty and Nevada.
And then New Mexico and Grand Canyon and Charleston.
Nice. Tony, any bets here, or should we move on?
I'm definitely on Grand Canyon. Even before you guys were, I like the money line. You guys know how I bet by now. I like the money line. Grand Canyon. Who else do I like? I like the Long Beach. I wasn't thinking about that, but catching 21 versus Arizona, I do like that with Stevie.
I like the over in that.
I definitely don't like Colgate. You guys can't be talking into the toothpaste in this game. And I mean, that's where I'm at. Nothing crazy from me here.
Yeah. Kurt, any last thoughts here?
New Mexico to the Sweet 16.
I'm excited about your guys' New Mexico team. I kind of like them after listening to you.
I'm telling
Yeah,
you,
I mean,
these Carolina futures, the bracket's so fucking easy.
Yeah.
I kind of agree. Like, who's going to beat who? Who beats Carolina from the whole panel?
Grand Canyon.
You really think that?
I'm just saying, like, right? They could end up playing Grand Canyon in the fucking 16.
Where's that region at in the West?
Charlotte.
Huh?
That first 2 rounds is in Charlotte.
No, I mean for like once they get when they play Grand Canyon, where's it at?
Oh man, in the Grand Canyon.
Dude, they play literally in the Grand Canyon.
In the Grand Canyon. A real home game.
Yeah. I actually don't know. We'll have to look that up while we keep moving. You want to scroll to the right, and we'll go to that one next.
Yeah. Pull it up. The up top.
Yeah, that's fine. So we'll go to the south here. Houston gets the 1 seed. A bit banged up coming into this tournament. We'll have to see. I haven't heard anything about Juwan Roberts since that loss to Iowa State, where they pretty much just kind of punted in the second half. Rested
Are we
some
allowed to
guys.
sponsor a team from Run Pure? Can we sponsor Longwood? I want some Longwood gear.
Longwood, awesome.
That trend, Steve. That trend.
Yeah, the dick trend. The dick
The
trend.
big trend. Yeah.
I read off the dick trend on the NBA show.
Black Dick?
Oh, black dick. No. I gotta find this fucking thing.
I'll pull it up while someone else talks after this. So we got Houston was locked into 1. I'm not concerned about their loss. Marquette is banged up here. We have
Marquette
a couple banged up
sucks.
teams.
Marquette fucking sucks.
So Kentucky as a 3, I think is interesting. Duke did not end the season particularly hot as the 4 here. And then Wisconsin as a 5. They played fine in the Big Ten tournament, but they kind of faded down the stretch too. So this is an interesting bracket. Kurt, we'll go to you first. Initial thoughts here.
Juwan Roberts' health, massive.
Yeah.
We don't know. I mean, we kind of have more clarity on Kansas' situation, which is really helpful. But I don't think we get anything on Roberts. I think he talked about how he's going to play through pain. It's not going to get any better. It depends how he looks in this Longwood game, and I don't know what to do with them right now. I've just been having them lose to like Nebraska or Texas A&M winner because if he's out, they don't have the depth of Tugler. I mean, they're a little bit. It's tough, man. I don't know what to do with them, so I'm going to have them lose second round and hope that.
Tominaga.
Oh God.
Hey, one of them. I've been
here's the dick trend. I just found it.
Okay.
In every tournament since 2021, top 2 seed has lost in the first round to a team with a phallic name. Oral Roberts over Ohio State, St. Peter's over Kentucky, Fairleigh Dickinson, Purdue, and now we get Longwood.
Oh God!
This
And
year,
St. Peter's is back. And St. Peter's is back.
who has 0 shot. So it's going to have to be on St. Peter's because Houston's going to beat the piss out of.
You probably said the
Longwood
same
here.
shit about Fairleigh Dickinson last year while you were sucking Zach Edey's dick.
God, he loves Purdue. I can't wait to get to Purdue.
Yeah.
He loves Purdue.
Gav, we'll go to you first. Initial thoughts on this bracket.
Yeah, well, first and foremost, the Houston student managers could win this game by 40. So, I mean, they're gonna beat Longwood blind. Like Longwood plays bully ball in one of the worst 5 conferences in the country. Is not going to fare well against a Houston team off a loss when Kelvin Sampson has just been riding their ass for 5 days about it. How bad they just got beat. The Nebraska Texas A&M game is really interesting because. Boy, really reminiscent of A&M's game last year when their shell defense played a mega high 3-point rate and also very high efficient 3-point shooting team in Penn State, and they got fucking torched. So really, really tough matchup for them stylistically. They're going to have to win on the boards at an immense level, but if Nebraska's hitting shots, they really have upside to not win this game, but win it, convincingly. That's also kind of the recipe that you need to beat Houston. You're not going to dribble the air out of the ball and just beat them off the bounce. So if Juwan Roberts is healthy and you are on the Nebraska bandwagon, they do have the upside to, if they shoot well from three, they can beat Houston, as crazy as that sounds. But yeah, the depth is a concern. Getting a little bit thinner, also without Arsenault, also without Walker. So it is getting to that point. Wisconsin, James Madison, like this is going to be one of the most trendy underdog picks, in the tournament. I think it all comes down to where you fall on this Wisconsin team. The team that went 3-7, their last 10 down the stretch when they were ranked 65th on Bart Torvik in that time frame, or the team that beat Purdue, made the Big Ten finals, when they were 5th in that time frame. The answer is probably in the middle. But this James Madison team is no joke. They are very rim reliant against a team that keeps the ball away from the bucket well in Wisconsin, walls up, all pun intended. So, yeah, I think personally I'm going to be on Wisconsin. When a lot of people are going to be betting JMU, but I certainly understand kind of the side for JMU here.
Yeah, I took the Wisconsin -5. I think JVC's on that as well.
Mm-hmm.
I just pulled up, the Longwood team total is 51.5 in this game against Houston.
I took the first half team total under 23.5. I don't know if they score 15.
That's a lot of bricks. That's a lot of bricks.
I don't know if they score 15. That's all.
I feel like we gave a lot of the upsets, but this is also. I agree with you guys. This is one of the trendy ones. I've had whiskey.
Wisconsin -5 is one of the best bets of the first round.
Yeah.
I mean, Seth Davis has James Madison in the Sweet 16. They are auto dead on arrival.
Yeah, Wisconsin is going to fucking dust James Madison. I don't think they've got any.
Them using Blackwell more, I think, enhances their ceiling.
I mean, they're deep. They're deep.
And we talk about, is it the team from the beginning or the team at the end? It's the team at the end. We know that, because that happened last week. Wisconsin's going to kill them.
All right, so
it seems like they just got in a rut down the end of the stretch. They get the conference tournament to kind of reset. All these guys have been, around the block. They kind of got the opportunity to take a deep breath, and then they just, stormed right through the Big Ten. So, I mean, personally, but I'm telling you,
a week off to get healthy.
There's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot of JMU love. Yeah, sure. With Chucky Hepburn's health, that's a good point.
Yeah. Nebraska's definitely going to smash as well.
I mean, Klesmit was banged up. Blackwell got banged up a little bit. I mean, this week off, they're all going to get healthy, and they all have got to have more minutes down the line.
They don't play till Friday, also. So both them and Houston, they do get the extra day here. JVC, we'll go to you. First thoughts on this region overall.
Well, Gab mentioned Nebraska going to hammer Texas A&M. That's a smash. Tominaga's going to fucking drop his nuts all over him. Then Nebraska and Wisconsin. That's two extremely good bets, and I think that one of them ends up making it to the Elite Eight between Nebraska and Wisconsin. I've got no faith in Duke against your team, Vermont. I really don't think Duke's got it this year. I see Wisconsin beating Duke and making it to the 16 against Nebraska, and then whoever wins the Nebraska-Wisconsin game going from there. NC State's a tough one because we just said we had the same conversation about Wisconsin. Is it the team we saw in the past week, or is it the team we saw the rest of the season? I've got less faith in them than I do in Wisconsin. I see Texas Tech going on from there. Kentucky, people have been shitting on Kentucky. Tony shit on Kentucky. I am not so. I'm a little more sold on Kentucky to put it. I bet them 30-1. I think that they've got some upside. Obviously they're always very young. And I think they may be able to figure something out and move on. I also think their second round match is pretty fucking easy. Their third round match is pretty fucking easy. Marquette, I am totally selling Marquette. I think Marquette's getting beat in the second round, probably by Colorado. I've got no faith in Marquette. I think they're toast. So I think we'll end up with Kentucky against either Nebraska or Wisconsin, and then Kentucky make it to the Final Four.
Yeah, I'm super high on Colorado. I hope they get out of that Boise game.
Yes.
I think Colorado can win several games in this.
Colorado to the Elite Eight. Tell them the number.
I think Kentucky's got one of the easier quadrant. Their portion is super easy. I don't think either Texas Tech or NC State can take them out. We've kind of talked about it for the last month and a half. Kentucky's best is up there with, the best teams in the country. Will we get it? Who knows? Gav, what do you think there? The bottom half of this bracket you didn't touch on initially.
Yeah, I kind of buried the lead. I think this bottom half of the bracket has the potential to be the highest variance, the weirdest, chaotic of, I guess what it would be the 8 portions of the bracket. So
yeah,
I think this is where you take some shots. I think 6 teams can win this bottom half. Like Boise State is going to present problems to these up-tempo, fast-gunning teams like Florida and Kentucky. Colorado has legit pro talent and, arguably is as good as starting fives as everybody but Kentucky. The thing about Kentucky is, where they struggled 6 and 7 against quad 1 teams, like games like at South Carolina, right? For a team that has engagement issues game to game with a lot of freshmen, that's not too surprising. And I'm okay writing that off because they're 7th when you filter by only quad 1A games when they were 6 and 2 straight up. That's 7th best on Bart Torvik. So goes to speak to, they have legit as high a ceiling as anybody. And you know what wins in this tournament? Pro talent. They got a hell of a lot of it.
JBC, your burner's in chat here. This guy's asked me if I can make parlays in Vermont. Made me laugh. Tony, we'll go to you. Thoughts here overall in this bracket?
So I actually think this is the worst bracket of the whole thing. It's my least favorite 1 seed, my least favorite 2, 3, 4, and 5. Like in all of them, I don't like. Which means I kind of agree with Gavin, where I think this is going to be upset city in this bracket, which makes it kind of hard when we're talking just brackets. Like betting wise, I love it because I can bet underdogs.
Yeah.
But as far as pure brackets, it makes it hard because you're going to have to take some chances on like a Nebraska over Houston. I like that. I like that call. Wisconsin over Duke. And then all of a sudden you're taking a Wisconsin or a Nebraska to the Elite 8, which is what you need in brackets to win a pool. But it's also where you could have your bracket in the trash right away too because of that. But the bottom, man, it's a lot of the teams I like because even though I don't like Kentucky, I obviously like to root on them. I think they're a fun team to watch. They get up and down. They got pro talent. They can score. So I definitely want them to do good, but I just don't trust that defense. I've watched them too much. They just can't stop anybody. Stevie got on me all year about them, and he's right. And Texas Tech, they play defense, I'm sure, right? Like they have to. They've always played D. So I don't know. I'm torn on that. Colorado, we got the Lampkin jersey behind me. I got to represent my boy Eddie Lampkin because
you should have seen him in the Pac-12 tourney.
I'm so mad I missed it. He was texting me all freaking night. I can't believe I missed it. The guy's a hero. This is his time of year. He's gonna freaking crush them. I can't wait to bet them over Boise tomorrow.
Bet them to the Elite 8. Go up here. Elite 8, Colorado.
I do struggle with the bottom of that bracket, and I do agree with
I love them.
I just don't. I don't know about Colorado. I agree with Marquette, like Mark's take, but I also think the bracket's weak enough down there where they can sneak through and get hot shooting the ball and move on. But I don't know. As far as my picks, though, I think I like the Nebraska. Nebraska hasn't been in the tournament. AP told me in forever. Like, when's the last time they've even been in?
They've never won a game in the tournament.
They've never won a freaking game in the tournament.
They've never won a game.
I like them. I think they get it going. I like them this year, too. Granted, they were way better at home than other places, but still.
Imagine being in Nebraska and being so desperate for your basketball team to be good that you go to fucking Tokyo to recruit a guy.
Is that where their best dude's from?
Tominaga!
He's not their best dude, but he's on the team.
Yeah.
Hey,
he's wet, dude. He's Boynton shits on him. He's wet, dude. He is wet.
He has to be because he's 4'8". He's gotta be wet.
For Japan and FIBA, you know.
Man, I don't know on the bottom. Like, who?
Nasty.
Can I possibly take my Kentucky team? I mean, man.
We didn't speak on Florida. They've got as good a shot as anybody.
I actually really like Florida. That's a good call, JBC. I like Florida. They shoot a lot of threes, too. That chart, I posted all the charts if anyone didn't see it today. Their shot chart looked great to me. All layups, all threes.
R.I.P. Mike.
I like Florida. I'm going with Florida. I like that call. I'm making that my pick. Florida.
My issue is around like the 79 10s, my two favorite teams are Florida and Colorado.
It's so annoying.
They have to play each other.
And it's in the bracket where we hate the top teams.
I know.
It's so annoying that they're in the same spot, though.
Because I would take, I don't know. So I hate that I have to pick that one. Marquette, we just don't know how healthy Kolek is. The same thing happened to him last year. I think that they have the ceiling to go to the Final Four here if he's healthy, but coming off an oblique, you just don't know.
Who is it?
Gav, you have any read there?
I thought they
I don't
said,
know.
what's his name said he's good to go.
Good to go, just meaning that he's playing, but obliques usually take more than a week and a half to heal.
Not if you're not a pussy.
Yeah, I mean, I think Kentucky wins their first 2 games easily.
You drink that breast milk like Kurt, and you'll heal that shit real fast.
I could see either Florida or Colorado or Boise winning 2 games here. I think that taking someone to beat Houston early is probably a mistake. But, man, I don't know. Gav, Houston, I just don't think has
Houston
troubles with
sucks.
teams
I'm
like
making
A&M or
solid statement
Wisconsin.
of the show. Houston blows.
Houston doesn't blow out.
They can't score. I hate teams that can't score. They just can't score.
If the score stays depressed, you have a larger chance of getting upset if the other team gets hot. Houston's inability to score is going to fuck them. It's going to fuck them.
That's my first solid.
You have to get through
Houston
too many rounds.
do anything in this tournament.
There is a game. One of these games, they're going to lose 63-55 because they fucking.
It might be too long.
Go for fucking 10.
Houston can score though. They've been decimated from injuries this year. Like if they were completely healthy, I'd have them blow.
You have to score. You have to score.
My thing is, I don't think that Duke or Wisconsin can beat them, and I don't know. I think Houston.
That's because Nebraska's going to beat them.
I mean, they could, but
no
if
big
A&M wins that game, I don't think A&M has a shot against them. I don't think Wisconsin has the type of team that can beat them. Gav, you have any thoughts there? Duke,
Gav loves Nebraska. Let's go,
butter
Gav.
down the scratch.
Oh no!
All right, so here's the summary: is fully healthy Houston bends this tournament over and spanks them like a child that just shit on the floor. So that's first and foremost.
I wish they were healthy just so you guys could watch them.
No, I'm telling you, they would shit kick everybody.
No, they wouldn't. They can't score and they got a crappy defense. Samson's a choker, a lifelong choker.
He's a cheater, and a choker.
Yeah.
The other thing is to play a little bit of devil's advocate for Marquette. I'm not saying that I have.
Get me on Marquette. That's who I want to be pushed on to.
I know. Tell me Kolek's healthy yet.
Yeah.
The thing you don't like is Shaka Smart's record in the tourney post that VCU run. I don't. My take is I don't think Kolek is that healthy because if he was anywhere near healthy, you play him in the Big East Championship, or you play him in the Big East tourney to try and advance maybe onto the 1 line. It's just weird to sit him out if he wasn't fully healthy, but. If he is fully healthy, that team without him still played way above expectation for what the market was saying that they would do in games that he was unavailable. So if he gets back, they integrate well, which, he just makes the offense a little bit more seamless. And the way that they can invert things with, Oso initiating the pick and roll just can cause teams problems, especially on a short prep. If you only got 48 hours to prep for that kind of offense, that can be a mother. So that's the ideal ceiling outcome for Marquette. Do they have the upside to make the Final Four? Yes. Will they do it? I tend not to think so because I don't think that Kolek's healthy.
Yeah,
I got a question. So they're deep at guard, right? Or am I wrong?
Yeah, but Tyler Kolek's one of the best 15 players in the country when healthy.
They don't have a true point guard without him.
I think he's healthier than.
I don't trust people named Tyler.
I do agree with that actually.
Yeah, the deal with me is if Marquette gets out of the first weekend and they play Kentucky, it's just not the type of team that Kentucky's beaten this year. I don't know. Marquette can get stops, and those are the teams that Kentucky loses to. Any team that doesn't just want to get into a track meet with Kentucky can beat them.
Marquette's not going to play
NC State wins that first game. Kentucky's going to score 100 points on NC State. But yeah, I don't have a ton of conviction at all in this bracket, especially compared to the other two that we had. But let's go to bets real quick in the first round. Kurt, we'll start with you. Do you like anything specifically for the first round games here?
Not specifically, but I like the Elite Eight bets. Just taking shots on some of these higher seeds. Like obviously, I keep saying Colorado. I think Nebraska or A&M. I'm banking on Roberts not being healthy. If he's healthy, I think they don't have an issue. But I think it's more serious than what we think. So that's kind of why I'm taking shots on some of these Elite Eight bets in this this side of the bracket.
Gav, first round bets here.
I'm on board with Nebraska. I think that, literally they're just 2 hot 3-point shooting games away from making the Sweet 16, and you're going to get great odds just given where, Houston is ranked. Now, the thing I will say about these 1 seeds, we're given paths to how they fail, but they're also more highly rated, I think, than every other team last year in Ken Palm, just on an adjusted efficiency metric. So they've been just complete wagons this year, more so than we've seen in years past. And there's a big drop off kind of once you get after those 3. That doesn't mean there's no way they lose. There certainly is. They're none without flaws. But they've just been so consistent. That's kind of how they generate those rankings. Yeah, I think outside of that, I don't have a ton more to add. Just like Boise could also be the wrench in this bracket.
No, don't even put that out there. We're betting on Colorado tomorrow.
Come on, Colorado. Tomorrow.
As a slow, grinding, execution-based team with a bunch of runners in that bracket. That's the only other thing I'd add.
Yeah, I took Wisconsin -5. I took Houston. I took Marquette in the first round, and I've got Oakland +14 are my 4 in this region. JBC, you want to tie us up here?
Yeah, let's see. I'm on Nebraska big, Wisconsin big, laying the 5, Nebraska -1. The other big bet I have is Colorado tomorrow. I don't foresee Boise posing much of a threat to Colorado with how much high-end NBA talent Colorado's got relative to people that play in fucking Idaho. So I'm with Colorado.
I'm betting Nebraska right now, so I'm on board with you guys there.
I knew you loved Tominaga.
I'll say if you like Nebraska, I would also make sure you get some of the alts. I did the same thing last year at Penn State. If they do have the hot 3-point shooting team or game and Wade Taylor or Tyrese Radford isn't shooting 50% from 3, could potentially get ugly.
Yep, I like that. Any last thoughts here, Tony, before we move on to the last one?
Bets, love Nebraska, love Wisconsin, love Texas Tech, actually. I know NC State got hot, but I think Texas Tech will slow them down. I like Texas Tech. I have to take Oakland, even though I love Kentucky. 14's too many. I have to like them. And Colorado tomorrow. I'm definitely on Lampkin tomorrow. I might even drive down to Dayton and root on my boy Lampkin. That's it for me. But
how far of a drive is that for you?
What odds can we get on Nebraska Sweet 16? Does anyone have it?
Gav, while we go to the next region, can you grab that for us since you already had those up?
Yes, we're finally to Stevie's hero. He's got the poster on his ceiling next to the freaking ceiling fan. It's boy Zach Edey. We finally got to it, baby.
Yep, the Midwest region. We got Purdue playing in Indianapolis to start us off here. My initial thoughts: we have a massive injury here. Kansas is going to be without McCullough.
How did they get a 4 seed?
Do you think they should be higher?
Beat UConn at home, beat Houston at home. I mean,
yeah,
those are wins that teams.
Yeah, but they suck.
Totally sucking down the stretch. That doesn't mean anything.
No, but you have 2 teams against the other, against the top 2 teams in the country.
But they've shown a propensity in the past where if you have injuries and you suck shit at the end of the season, they penalize the fuck out of you. They penalize the fuck out of you for it. And they don't do it to Kansas because they're blue blood bullshit. And you know what? It's great. You know what? They thought they fucked them. They thought that they did them good, but they fucked them because Sanford and McNeese, one of those is going to beat their ass.
Yeah. So I think that this region has the strongest 11 through 14 seeds as a group. And I think we see at least one of them win, probably 2. I really like Sanford, especially now that McCullough's out. He's one of the most impactful players in the country, obviously. And then Oregon, I think Gav mentioned it earlier, Altman's 7-0 in first round. It's that team that doesn't see a zone often sees a zone with Oregon. I'm sure Gav will talk about that too. And then, I really like the 2 and 3 seeds in this bracket a lot more than the 2 and 3 seeds that we've seen in others. Kurt, we'll go to you first. Overall thoughts on this bracket here?
As soon as the McCullough news came out, taking Stanford over Kansas. I was having them win one game, but with the McCullough news and the way they play down the stretch, like y'all said, Stanford for me. Oregon, South Carolina game, I think it's going to be really fun. Probably not for a fantasy perspective, maybe, but I think it's going to be a fun game to watch. And I don't know where I'm leaning because I'm not sure Oregon can shoot consistently enough. And South Carolina might not either, but I'm having a tough time with that game. Also having a tough time with Creighton. This bracket, besides Tennessee, I love Tennessee. I hate how they finish the season, hate it, which usually means bad things. But I'm a slut for Tennessee, which is they suck in March. They suck in March, all that narrative, and everyone's going to be buying into that because rightfully so. You probably should. Like Barnes is horrendous, but I literally come to completion watching Dalton Connect chuck fucking shots up and miss every single one. I love that man. So I'm having them go to the Final Four. That's my takeaway from this bracket. And Purdue, I think Purdue shuts a lot of people up this year too. I'm siding with Stevie here.
They're not going to lose to Grambling?
No, because Montana State's going to win tomorrow.
Montana State.
Sorry, my bad.
I'm done.
Gav, we'll go to you. Initial thoughts on this quad here.
This obviously the Kansas thing is huge. That pod, when it's best case Gonzaga, it gets pretty cakewalky for Purdue to get all the way there. So I think this is probably my highest likelihood of one and the two meeting up in the Elite Eight. We haven't mentioned Creighton yet. Like Creighton's just one of those teams where, man, if they're not hitting, I mean, they've had some absolute dog-ass three-point shooting games, like 6 for 27 type shit, where they get into these low grinding affairs with teams like Villanova, who have no business being on the court with them, and barely win. I think they could literally form this whole bracket. If they get hot for 4 games, they could literally lose in the first round to Akron if they're not hitting shots. Just going to be one of those teams, with their three-point rate. They take care of the ball. They don't force any turnovers. They don't get any free possessions. I went deep on this South Carolina, and I know I mentioned the Dana Altman stat. I also did bet South Carolina in the spot, so I'm probably dead. They're the lowest rated.
You bet against Altman? What?
Yeah, they're the lowest rated at-large team in the field. They're also 27th. In Bart Torvik when you look at quad 2 games and below. Part of what kills their just analytic numbers is they lost twice to Auburn by a combined 71 points. Like, just absolutely got whooped both times. And they lost to Bama by 27. So that's basically 3 of their 5 losses since January. When you look at the Bart Torvik wins above bubble, how many wins do you have versus the average bubble team if they played your schedule? They're 12th in that category. Kind of speaks to their ability to grind out close games. They're going to slow it down, muck it up. They're a 78th percentile zone offense efficiency, so the junk zones of Altman may not work, late. Plus, there's prep time for Lamont Paris, who's had, he had success with Chattanooga. Like they should have beat Illinois 2 years ago.
Yeah,
Malachi Smith had a great look at the end, missed it. I went deep on this South Carolina game. On South Carolina personally, but yeah, back to the top 2 teams probably in the Elite Eight for me. I think that you can, in larger bracket stuff, you can play against a Creighton run. So TCU athletes over Utah State in their first power conference team of the year. I think Gonzaga actually handles McNeese. They're going to be a pretty popular dog, but McNeese's style works perfectly in their conference, right? They force a ton of turnovers when half the league turns it over a fifth of their possessions, and they just relentlessly get to the rim with their athleticism. That won't be available against Gonzaga. So I'm another one that I'm probably going to buck against the trendy underdog pick.
Yeah, and I know JBC likes them, so we'll go to you next. Thoughts on this quadrant here, JBC?
Just to go from top to bottom, I mean, Purdue obviously is, the class of this, and the bracket itself is not that difficult for them. Gonzaga sucks. Kansas sucks. I really don't see them having any problem making it to the 8. Really like TCU over Utah State. That's one of my top bets of the first round. I disagree with Gav a little bit on McNeese. I think they'll be able to elevate their game a little bit. Most of the time, these small conference teams do not have an actual coach to coach them when they get into these spots, and McNeese does. McNeese has a high-end coach who probably shouldn't be coaching a team that is in such a shitty conference, and so I think they'll have better preparation than most of these teams usually do. Kansas blows. Sanford's going to win. My largest bet of the first round is on South Carolina. I know the lines moved from +1 to -1.
Oh, say it louder for the people in the back.
The big bet is South Carolina. So, yeah, I mean, I totally agree with him. I think they're just going to cut that zone up. Dana Altman can suck my dick. I don't see South Carolina having any trouble in this game whatsoever. I have a bit of a different take on Creighton. Well, just because, you tend to want to play high variance teams in terms of futures. I played Creighton to win the title at 30-1. If they get hot, they'll beat everybody. So why not take that? Why not take a 30-1 shot there? Really love them. So I think that they get past Tennessee, get past Purdue, get all the way to the end. As far as the next game, Texas, Virginia's terrible, as I'm sure Steve knows. Colorado State is going to smash them. So you're looking at Texas and Colorado State. I think Colorado State is a better team than Texas. So Colorado State will get to round 2 and then drop it to Tennessee, but Tennessee will fall to Creighton.
Virginia's got 14 points right now in their game. It's almost halftime.
Oh, I didn't even realize that was.
Yeah, do you guys think Longwood will score 20?
I literally did not know the score and was shit talking Virginia.
Yeah, so I think Tennessee's got a pretty easy ride into the Sweet 16 here. Purdue's got pretty much the best like top half quadrant that they could have asked for, especially with the McCullough injury. I think we see Sanford really give him a run there. I took the +8.5 for Sanford. And
I thought you were saying that Sanford was going to get Purdue a run. I was like, maybe.
No. And I sprinkled the +310 there on Sanford over Kansas. Creighton, it sucks because like I wanted to be on like all of Purdue, Creighton, and Tennessee, and here they are all in the same quadrant. So that kind of sucks. Creighton, Tennessee in the the Elite Eight will be an awesome game. Creighton got boned last year in their Elite Eight game. We had them with title futures and Final Four futures. I bet them also at 30-1. Just the ceiling of this team, if they shoot as well as they can, is just so high. And I think it's pretty easy to get to Tennessee, Creighton in that Elite Eight game. I took Colorado State over Texas in that one. And then, I'm with you guys on TCU. I think that they really give Utah State fits. I think Gav said it's their first high major game of the entire season for Utah State there. So
with the coach that's already rumored to potentially be a foot out the door.
Yep. Well, love that. I got TCU -3. So I'm with you there. Tony, we'll go to you here. Thoughts on this quadrant here?
Oh, man, I was disappointed when I saw Purdue's spot just because I wanted to go against them bad. And, I mean, there's just no one in there. Kansas finished the year 9-9. I mean, it's embarrassing they got the 4 seed. I know they were good early and they beat some teams in that. I mean, they should not be a 4 seed. That Stanford's going to beat them outright. And I like McNeese outright too. So Purdue can TCU give them any kind of run at all, or Utah State?
Yeah. TCU could.
TCU with their athletes and positional length and the pressure they can put at the point of the attack against the Purdue guards that Braden Smith's clearly not healthy. He looked like fucking dog ass in the tournament, man, after he strained his calf or whatever that was. If Braden Smith's one of the 10 best point guards in the country when healthy, same situation with Kolek. If he's not healthy, Purdue is not going to make it as far as many you're going to suspect them to make.
I like that. Give me some hope with TCU. I don't like Creighton either.
Is there juice to South Carolina? South Carolina Sweet 16 run, maybe?
Oh, no. Tony's going with South Carolina.
Go ahead.
No. What are you going with?
This is the first one I kind of disagree with people. So I don't like Creighton and I don't like South. I hate the SEC. Like I don't think South Carolina's good.
So you like Oregon?
Oregon. Oregon's peaking. I like them. I think they beat Creighton. I got Oregon in the Sweet 16. I think it's the easiest bracket of all, though, for the 1 and the 2 to make the Elite Eight. Purdue, what was the other one? Oh, the Carolina one where we
Carolina,
said
Arizona, yeah.
upsets, and then the 1 and the 2 make it.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I am here, too. Like, I think it's Purdue and Tennessee. I do like a lot of upsets in there, though, as far as the other games. I think McNeese makes the Sweet 16 and Oregon. So an 11 and a 12 in my Sweet 16 down here.
Yeah.
Cinderella's coming to Lake Charles, Louisiana.
Is that where it's at?
I told you this is the I think this is the quadrant with the best chance for the 11s through 14s to win. I think we see 2 of them win here. Kurt
McNeese is like good, right? I mean, their kick bomb is
Will Wade, bro. Yeah. Will Wade, bro.
They play in a dog shit conference, and if they try to run with Gonzaga, they're
that's
in trouble,
racist.
Wait, what?
They said they play in a dog shit conference. That's racist. They play in the HBCU conference.
Yeah.
What we do at HBCU?
Yeah. So I'm going to surprise you guys. I have Tennessee coming out of this quadrant. I've got them beating Purdue.
Yeah, Stevie, let's go.
Game.
What?
Creighton.
Yes.
White boys.
Wait, repeat that, Steve?
White boy summer.
I've got Tennessee going to the Final Four.
Oh, man.
Baby.
Can we get the takes if McNeese ends up playing Creighton in the Elite Eight?
and white dudes out on the court.
No. McNeese all black, Creighton all white.
Yeah,
I thought.
Yeah, Kurt,
I'm in for that.
What's your regional final here and your winner?
Me,
Tennessee, Purdue. I got Tennessee. So yeah, same.
JBC.
I've got Creighton over Purdue.
Gav.
Tennessee over Purdue.
Ooh, there we go. And then we'll wrap
go
up
Barnes.
here.
What do you expect?
Let's go Barnes. Come on. Let's do a shout out to Rick Barnes. You're breaking the narrative this year.
You know right away we're going to be in a battle with St. Peter's.
Yeah. Tennessee's going to shoot 2 of 21 from 3.
The dick trend. St. Peter's.
St. Peter's in a battle. Rick Barnes always chokes. So,
for first round bets in this region, I got TCU, Samford that we talked about. I bet the Gonzaga -6, and those are my 3 in the first round. Gav, first round bets here.
I took a little bit of 20-1 to reach the Sweet 16.
Who?
Wait, what was that again?
While also being a Creighton Final Four 15-1 holder, understanding that.
Wait, who did you take at 20-1?
That would be Akron with Ali and Enrique Freeman, 2 players.
Let's go, Gav. That's what I'm talking about right
there. Who
can
at least go toe-to-toe. They're gonna grind Creighton into the same kind of games that teams like Villanova did, and they're going to defend the 3-line well with positional length. They have a legit 4 to at least get on Baylor Shireman. I think that I would not be complete. Look, Creighton could win this game by 20. Okay, that with their 3-point shooting, if they're shooting well, they're going to win this game by 15 to 20. I will say that if they play Oregon in the second round, they will win that game by 30. Okay, so Oregon does not want to see Creighton in the second round. But regardless of if Akron wins that, their second game is going to be a slow-paced grinding affair with 2 teams in South Carolina and Oregon. Yeah, I took the stab. Is it going to win? Probably not, but it's 20-1. Sue me.
Yeah. All right, JBC, your first round bets for the Midwest.
Well, my top bet of the first round is South Carolina -1 against Oregon. Got the Samford with 8, whatever it was, 8.5 before the injury news against Kansas. Got McNeese getting 5.5 against Gonzaga, 6, whatever it is. TCU laying the 3.5 against Utah State. Had the Colorado State tonight. Will probably have Colorado State again in the next game after they beat Virginia.
Yep, same. They're up 27-14 right now with the ball at the end of the first half here. All right, let's wrap up with who everyone thinks is going to be in the championship game and who's going to win, and then we'll get out of here actually decently on time. I think we did 2 hours at the at the party last year because Kurt and I were picking every damn game in the tournament. So we'll go to you, Kurt. Who is in the championship game, and who do you got winning it all?
Let me get
an exact score for the tiebreaker.
Auburn, Tennessee, Auburn.
You got
I'm
Auburn.
going to
Tennessee.
SEC, and he said that with a country accent.
Yeah.
He's like, I got Auburn, Tennessee.
Auburn, Texas.
Tennessee.
Auburn,
Just like-
Tennessee.
Just like Brian Kelly when he took the LSU job.
Big T is like, what the fuck? He's like, SEC.
dropped a ton of national-
Auburn's, I mean, that's where you do the bracket. You're drawing Stone Dad.
Wait, how?
Auburn versus Tennessee.
All right,
You
Tony,
have
who do you got in the
Final Four, don't
championship
you?
game here?
I mean, full disclosure, I might change by tomorrow because I'm not fully dialed in on the bracket, but I know for sure I'm taking UConn because I like them on the left.
Pussy.
The right side, though, I just don't know. I mean, I got Tennessee right now, so I'm going to be boring. I don't think I'm actually going to pick Tennessee, but for right now, I got UConn over Tennessee.
This guy
I think-
makes one pick different than me and calls me
I
Stone
don't
Dead.
like Tennessee. I wish I didn't have to pick Tennessee.
I think Big T's going to end up with Marquette in the championship game. That's just a hunch.
I want to be nudged towards Marquette.
Yeah.
Man.
JBC will go to you next.
I got
You got-
UNC and Creighton.
You
Nice.
seriously got Creighton winning the title?
Hell yeah.
That would be a fun ass game. Gav.
There's no way 5 Whiteys win the title.
It's happened before.
so he has UNC winning then. Gav, what do you got?
Illinois versus North Carolina. Illinois wins. Kentucky versus Tennessee. Tennessee wins. Tennessee beats Illinois in the finals.
What is all this Tennessee dick sucking? They're going to lose to Colorado State.
This is
I hope not, because then all our brackets will be dead. I've got UConn, Tennessee in the final with UConn winning back-to-back national championships. They brought us home last year. It was more of a long shot then, but
We got to send the wagon every game, too. It was fun sending the wagon every game.
Yeah. I mean, we could almost send it at halftime of half of the games they played last year in the tournament.
They just destroyed everybody.
But yeah, let's wrap it up here with just like a
Illinois call from Gav. I like Illinois. It's just
Illinois
getting
got-
that beat UConn.
yeah. I mean, if they were in the Houston bracket, I would have them coming out. Maybe even the Carolina one too. All right, let's do last thoughts and then we can get out of here. Kurt, any last thoughts?
a lot of I think it's gonna be semi chalkier for the Final Four and stuff, but there's gonna be madness around that. We talked about it in a couple of the quadrants, but I think that's gonna be really the theme of this tournament. There's gonna be a lot of double-digit seeds making the Elite Eight, Sweet 16, shit like that. But then I think it'll be besides one of the quadrants, semi chalky as far as the Final Four goes.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same. I think we see a lot of chalk late, but there's potential for some upsets early just because of all the injuries. It feels like we're going into the tournament with more injury situations than usual. So that's kind of where I'm at. Any last thoughts here, Tony?
Just trying to find me a team on this right side that I can support. I don't want to pick Tennessee, but I
Colorado.
Purdue.
I mean, I can't pick them to go to the finals. I wish I
Come on,
could.
baby.
Purdue.
I don't know. I don't have any fun. I'm trying to find one team I can back. I need someone to talk me into someone on the right side.
Purdue.
I mean, that would be all time though if I came back and said Purdue.
Kentucky.
Can I?
Yeah,
I
that's right.
would love to take Kentucky. Can I actually pick?
I
them?
have Kentucky in the Final Four.
I mean, their
They have
ceiling
the
is
talent.
unmatched. Like their ceiling is, especially the right side. Like their ceiling is easily
I just don't like anyone on the right side either, so I might as well just take the team.
Yeah, might as well.
take the
Gavin's
team with the
got
highest.
no
I
problem.
rating.
hate
1A
the
games.
SEC though, and all of a sudden I'm going to have Tennessee and freaking UK in the Final Four.
SEC
That's what Gav
season.
has, I think.
Love that.
The SEC always sucks in this tournament.
I think they're gonna be
All
decent
right.
this year.
JBC, last thoughts here.
Tennessee is too shitty on offense, and Illinois is too shitty on defense for what you guys are giving them.
Don't connect season.
It's good. It's a good final thought. Nice job. Gav,
What's
Final
the deal with
thoughts
the
here?
package too? Before you get done with everybody, talk about that package, Stevie.
oh yeah, I will.
Okay.
Gav, final thoughts?
I'll close with most outstanding player market.
Okay. What do you got?
Edie's plus 610 on Rivers. Purdue is 7-1 to win the tournament. Okay, so just cross that off. You're assuming Purdue loses. I thought the 5 best values were Shannon 40-1. Guys on live teams with that are clear alpha roles, right? Jamal Shed 15-1 if Houston's healthy, definitely is available. Dalton Connect 11.5-1, not bad. Caleb Love, if Arizona's going to do it, it's going to be on the back of 6 nuclear Caleb Love games, right? Otherwise, they're just going to die. 20-1. Janai Broom, 30-1.
RJ.
Yeah. What's RJ Davis? Yeah.
I don't even know if RJ would win it if North Carolina. What if Baycott is just averaging a double-double?
That's true.
And Ingram's had games where he's gone for 18 and 13 in like 2-3 game stretches.
You're right.
Yeah. That's the only worry I have with RJ.
That's true. All right, we will wrap it up. We are doing a March special at Run Pure Sports. It's March 15 for the college hoops only. We're going to have playbooks, core plays, Discord, picks, bets, everything from now through the end of the tournament. It's at Coach March 15. And if you sign up today or tomorrow, you get to join our free-to-enter bracket pool. It's 5K pool. So if you're already a member, make sure to get in that. The link is in the Discord. It's in the announcements section there. But yeah, we're going to wrap it up here. We did an hour and 11. We got this.
I got one more thing too, because I did it earlier. So anyone that signs up for the college package before Thursday, if you sign just college, because it's going to be easier to track, use the code, sign up. We did it earlier, but we'll refund one person. So whether it's, only a month, right?
Yeah.
So we'll do a couple. I'll do 3 of them even, because it's only a month, right, Steve? They can't do longer than that.
Yeah.
Right. So if you sign up, I'll refund 3 of them. If you sign up for a month, send me that you signed up. Send me just a screenshot that you signed up. I'll refund 3 of them, so you get it for free. Get in the $5,000 free thing that Stevie got set up through his DK rep. And one more thing I want to add: JBC is really good about posting all the bets. I'll even put them in. I'll set up a sheet on the DFS side just for bets, where Steve, Gav, whoever wants to put them up, where you can see the bets too. We don't usually do that, but just for March Madness, I'll put those in too. So we'll lump everything in to this March Madness package. We'll go all out. I'm sure everyone's going to be in there in the Discord too. So sign up, 3 free months, all that stuff, 5K, all of it. Sign up before Thursday. We're going to make a lot of money.
Half the damn bracket mania is RPS seats.
Yeah, at least. Yeah, we got that starting up Thursday. We got 16 games Thursday, 16 games Friday. We'll let you know if we do any live shows for those. Tony, do you know if we have anything set up?
Yeah, every day.
All right, so we'll
Steve,
be live
when are you playing this guy that you're playing in the first round of the Madness? Because I bet 5,000 on you against him.
I've got a couple of opponents. We can talk offline.
All right.
But yeah, so we're gonna have full playbooks for the 16 gamers. The Thursday one is almost up already, and then we'll have one for every slate throughout. So for Kurt, for Tony, for JBC, for Gav, we'll see you guys next time.
Fuck.